Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast, where we'll talk with real estate investors, entrepreneurs, business leaders, athletes, and more to inspire you with their success stories so you can work hard, never give up, and dream huge. And now, let's start the show.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast. Man, I'm excited for this one today, folks. We love to share success stories from other movers, shakers, influencers, real estate investors, other huge dreamers out here in the world. And hopefully these stories will help to motivate and inspire you to dream huge as well. First, let me get to my co-host, JP for 3, Mr. John Pavlansky, top producing agent at Dream Huge Realty, top producing agent in the whole county, in the whole board. Can I say that now officially?
You can say that. We're
After only 2 years in the business, it's insane. He's breaking records. He's knocking people out of the freaking way like you cannot believe. It's amazing what this guy does. So if you need help buying or selling in the area, you know who to reach out to. JP for 3. How you doing, JP?
I am doing terrific. It is a great day. Sun is shining here in sunny Mansfield, Ohio. I cannot complain about anything. And just like you, Pete, I am extremely excited to dive into this guy's story and really talk some real estate today, man. So yeah, I'm doing great. Ready to talk some real estate. But I got one more question. Pete, how are you doing, my man?
You know the answer to that. Outstanding, as always. Thank you, JP. Okay, we get to our special guest here, Mr. Alex Coffman. How are you today, Alex?
I'm doing great, guys. I got to bring my energy levels up when I'm around you two.
Time to bring it up, baby. Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast. Crank that energy up to 11. Always go to 11. Yeah, because that's one louder than 10.
That's right. I think if you guys are open to it, I think I'm going to hire y'all and just keep y'all around me all day.
Yes. Depends what you pay, but we're up for it.
Pete's always on 11 too, Alex. Just a fun fact. Pete's got a nice little bump it up to 11 tattoo around his nipple. Sorry to bust that out, but it's the truth, man. It's it.
All right. Now, normally I wouldn't, but
we're starting it off good today.
Yeah.
We're starting it off good today.
This nipple does go to 11. Yes. I wouldn't normally break it out, but you mentioned it. But now look how red my face is.
Does JP go over there and turn the knob?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When I need the energy levels up, I'll go and give him a quick point, man.
Hilarious.
What in the hell did I just get into with these guys?
Alex, my man, thank you for, just going right along with us. He is on Instagram, Real Alex Coffman. You can find him on Instagram, Real Alex Coffman, at Real Alex Coffman. He is a heroin addict, believe it or not, to multi-millionaire, currently over 240 doors, with his partner, Matthew Teifke, who was also on the program. And he's also co-owner of Teifke Real Estate and co-founder of the Entrepreneur community. So this guy's a tremendous real estate investor. We're excited to talk some real estate investing with you today, Alex. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do, my man.
Sure. So talk about now, what we do today?
Yes, sir.
So today we do a few things like you just mentioned, and thank you guys again for having me on. But we're based out of Austin, Texas. And so we have a real estate brokerage in Texas. On the real estate brokerage side of things, we're solely focused on investing and, teaching agents how to create wealth through real estate, right? Sounds like John, you were just saying he's the number one real estate agent, a part of his board. Big congrats to you, John,
Thank
JP.
you.
But we teach agents how to do that and how to make money doing that, but to be creative and take that money and then go invest in real estate to actually build wealth for themselves. We've always believed that being a real estate agent is great and it's a huge tool that you have as a real estate professional, but to just represent, buyers and sellers, you're missing out on about 95% of the value that the real estate industry has to provide. So we have about 100 agents with us here in Texas. Matt and I, we're real estate investors. We do own about 240 with us, and with our investors, we raise capital and buy deals We just closed on a 109 slot RV resort right outside of Dallas. We've got a 141 slot under contract right now. And really our big focus for us personally is continuing to find bigger and better deals and buy them with more great people.
I love it. I love it. And you said something incredibly important. And I think that's why us at Dream Huge and you guys have had such a mutual connection. And we've been on some email threads together. We've actually had on some phone calls together, talked through some deals and things like that. But you're not just an agent. You guys don't want your agents to just be agents. And that's something that stands out because a lot of brokers, they want your agents to stay agents and make money. Pete is the same exact way as take that money that you're making and throw it into real estate and provide wealth and provide financial freedom for your family. So I just want to touch on that too, because that is absolutely amazing. So
yeah, it's important. You know, I mean, everybody, a lot of people get their real estate license because they want to not have a job, right? But ultimately, you know, most agents out there, number one, don't make a lot of money. So a lot of them aren't really actually out there doing deals. But then the ones who are, if they don't actually create a business that operates without them, they ultimately just have a job. If they got hit by a car the next day, if for whatever reason they decided to stop working, they would no longer have income coming in. And so we've really, you know, preached and taught everyone here at TRE to be true entrepreneurs and to take advantage of all aspects of real estate while they're here in the business.
Yeah, that's amazing. We preach the same exact thing, Alex. You know, I start every sales meeting with, first of all, thanking the team. Truly grateful for everything they do. And then I always quickly follow that up with, first and foremost, we are real estate investors. That's what we must do and focus on primarily to create financial freedom and build wealth for our families. Secondly, we will be listing agents. And thirdly, we will be buyer's agents. In that order, so you can build your business, not just have a job, right? Okay, so I just looked it up and you mentioned it. What do you guys think the average real estate agent makes?
Out of all agents in the United States in real estate, or
yeah, just the average real estate agent in the United States,
driving Uber and stuff too.
Just a real estate agent, just the agent hustle.
AP, you go first.
I'm gonna say 35,000.
Okay.
The average, I don't know because I wonder where this stat comes from, but I would say that over half don't make any money. And then, you know, those that do, I don't know, if I had to choose an average number, I'd say less than 40K.
56K.
A little higher.
56K. Like you said, it's good, but it's not a lot of money. Right. And it's a job. And
Where's
like, you know, JP, it's a 24/7 job.
Where'd that stat come from?
Just a quick Google search. Yep. So yeah, you know, fact check me. You know, we can find a couple different stats as well. You know, we could dive into that. But yeah, even if it's within that range, 40 to 50,000, you bought yourself a job, right? Which, you know, people think real estate agents are making crazy money. They're not. The top producers are, but the average ones are not. No. You know, so yeah, that's what we're trying to get across.
There's a stat released. They release this every year here, Austin Board of Realtors. And it's about, I'm probably off a little bit on the numbers, but give or take, it's about 48% do zero transactions, period. 48% of all licensed realtors, a part of the Austin Board of Realtors, make no money in real estate. They do zero transactions. It's like 12% do like one a year. You know, like 6% do like two a year. And then, you know, about 1% of the licensed realtors, 1 to 2% do, you know, one a month, 12 plus a year.
Wow. Yep, the old 80-20 rule.
Yeah, I mean, on that rule, it's probably even higher. It's like the 98-2 rule.
No doubt.
So let's, I want to dive into this first, Pete, just because I know that you guys had your first official call last night, correct, Alex?
No, we do our monthly investor calls every month. Last night, though, was just an update call on the previous projects that we've done with our investors. And we did talk about a new deal that we have under contract, though. That was the first time we mentioned that deal live to everybody.
That's amazing. And I think we even seen you guys in the Grant Cardone group at one point in time. So tell us a little bit about that investor call. And then that is associated with TR3 Capital, correct?
Yep, Tier 3 Capital. So last night was just every month we host these monthly investor calls where we go over the, stats and the performance of our current deals that we have under contract. We give updates on things that we're looking at in the market. And we also talk about, new opportunities that we either have under contract or about to pursue. And so last night, that's what we did. We have a new one under contract. It's a 141 slot RV/tiny home park right outside of Dallas, Texas. And so we presented that to everybody and starting to fill up that fund 3.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, put me on the call, and anybody else that is interested in getting in on that call with these guys, shoot us a message. We'll get you on as well. So, I ran across you guys on the Grant Cardone call as well, which Grant, for those of you guys who don't know, Grant does something similar. They do a bi-weekly, twice a week real estate investor call that you actually have to pay to be a part of. Do you guys charge to be a part of your call, or is this a free group?
Yeah, I mean, it's really for people who want to invest with us. It's not so much like mentoring and coaching and things like that. It's really just giving updates to investors on how the investments that they invested in are doing, distributions we're paying out, updates along with the projects, us overseeing management, and then us, revealing any new opportunities that we have. And so, no, you don't have to pay anything to join. But it's really for those who are interested in investing capital with us and for our current investors who have invested capital with us. Does that make sense? It's not structured like the Grant Cardone, like bring your deal, let's call it, let's work it, let's run through the numbers, etc.
Gotcha. More of just an investor group. Love it.
Yes, sir.
And what do some of those returns look like for your guys' investors, Alex?
Sure. So one we just closed on, TR3 RV Resort. That one's going to be about close to a 9% cash on cash return, about a 2.8 equity multiple, and about a 26+% IRR. Now, those are just based on initial projections. They could get better over time. We try and underwrite and project pretty conservatively. Our goal would be to overperform versus, overpromise and underdeliver. So these are all pretty conservative projections, but that one, worst case scenario is going to do that.
Now, is that like a 5-year deal or a 10-year deal, or what is that IRR based off of?
Yes. So those projections are based on a 5-year hold. The fund could stay open for up to 10 years. With that specific deal, though, we locked in 0% interest seller financing terms. And there was a 5-year balloon on those seller financing terms. So that's why we based the projections based on the 5-year time period. But at the end of those 5 years, a few things could happen. We could either A, convince the seller to continue the seller financing terms, which would be ideal. B, we could refinance out of it. Our LTV at the time will be very low, like 30, 40%. Or we could pursue selling it if the market's good and we have the right offers in front of us.
I love it. Absolutely. And these guys are sharp, man. I've had the opportunity to talk with them through a couple different things, and you guys are incredibly admirable. So definitely.
We almost put a deal together. Did we almost put a deal together with these guys?
Yeah. We were on the phone call, the Huron, the 54 unit up in Huron.
Yes.
Cashflow, Ohio.
Cashflow, Ohio.
Yes. So whatever happened with that deal, JP? Do you know, did he sell that or?
No, he didn't. I think he's just held on to it. I continued to follow up with him, and he kind of slowed down on it. So I think he knew his numbers were a little high, but he's holding on to it right now. So hopefully it comes back across our desk and we can get something rolling with these guys.
Yep, that's right.
That guy didn't seem too motivated. It seemed like, I'll sell it, if I can get the right thing. And those typically aren't the best deals, as we all know.
Mm-hmm. That's right. 100%. Hey, man. So, all right, take us into you personally a little bit. How in the hell did you go from heroin addict to real estate millionaire?
Sure. So, my entire life I've been pretty entrepreneurial. Back when I was younger, it was in non-productive and non-legal ways, and by the time I was 21 years old, I was a full-blown heroin addict in and out of jail for drug possession charges, like possession of marijuana here in Austin, Texas. And so, But I didn't really, just like anybody, I don't think anybody who's doing heroin right now is really enjoying their life. I don't think that they're, very happy about it. And a lot of them are just lost, just like I was. And so I really wanted to not live life that way, but I just didn't really have a solution at that time, or all the previous thousands of times that I had told myself I was going to stop and, do something different. I didn't really have a solution to pull me out of that cycle. But I got, arrested for the last time for a possession of marijuana, August 13th of 2015. And, it was that time where I went to county jail again, and family wouldn't bond me out of jail. And I really was able to sit there, and I wanted to get sober. Like I just mentioned, I didn't want to continue to live life that way. So that really kind of presented me an opportunity to have some time to sit in there and, really come to terms with myself about, hey, I'm no longer going to be doing this again and again and again and again, and go get some actual help. And my family was willing to help me get some help. And so, I went to a treatment center right out of county jail, 2015, and I stayed in that treatment center for 4 months or so. Then I went to sober living right after that up in North Texas, and was there for a year. I started managing these sober living houses. Like you get free rent if you manage it and oversee the guys and help
House
people out
hack.
and things. House hack. Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about it that way. But that's my first house hacking experience. But I was making, $8.25 an hour at the time working at Firehouse Subs. My license was suspended because I got arrested. So I was riding my bicycle to work and back every day. And I had lived my life so unhealthy for so long, from like 11 to 21 years old. I was not concerned with my physical health. I was obviously putting things in my body that were not good for me. I wasn't eating healthy or, smoking cigarettes. Like I lived so unhealthy. And so when I finally got sober around that time, I had to restart my life basically. And I had been under the influence, for the last 10 years, every day. Xanax, pills, Oxycontin, hydrocodones, heroin, smoking weed every day, drinking, like whatever I could get my hands on, I was doing at all times, from, 12 years old till 21 years old. And so there's a lot of that stuff that I don't remember. Like I never really, was able to develop into an adult really because I was under the influence every day. So when I finally did get sober, I kind of had to start doing that stuff. And obviously I was, living on different basis than I was previously, like, practicing honesty and, selflessness and things like that. And so I was really just kind of learning how to live life again. But house hacking, managing the sober living houses. And I knew that I wasn't going to work at Firehouse Subs. I knew that I wasn't going to go get a job like my family, but I didn't really know my path yet. And I knew that I wanted to work for myself and have my own business, but I also knew that I couldn't go back and do what I had been doing for the last 10 years or so, right? So I was just constantly looking for opportunities to invest my capital because I knew investing very well. I've always been interested in investing, had always invested my money into something and sold it for more, when I was doing drugs and selling drugs. And so I was just looking for that in legal businesses. And, for a period of about 3 to 4 years, I was continuing to manage these houses and house hack. And so I saved up, all my money the entire time. I'm pretty cheap and was then, still am now. Like I would spend, $20 for a couple of weeks worth of groceries. And that was about all the money that I would spend. But I was really just, building myself up, eating healthier, exercising for the first time ever, like really getting in shape, getting my mind, my spirit, my body right, and saving up all my money, and was just looking for ways to invest it, and started investing into stocks. And that wasn't very great for me. I'm kind of a gambler as well. And the stock market is, especially the way that I was investing then, it was really just trying to day trade and, flip money pretty quickly. And that has never worked for me. Matt, my partner at the time, had, said, hey, why don't you come buy this house with me? And that was my first time actually investing into real estate. Prior to that, I'd been listening to podcasts and reading books and things like that. But then really just kind of dove all in and went all the way in on buying real estate, wholesaling deals. We started the brokerage together, and over the last 5-6 years, that's what's led us to where we're at today.
Fantastic.
I don't got the words, man, because that is just, excuse my language, that's fucking incredible. Like it is. It just genuinely is, man. Your story is one of a kind, and that's exactly why we had you on the pod, why we wanted to get you on the pod, man, because you have something that you can offer to somebody and show somebody that, hey, it's possible through any ups and downs. It's 100% possible. And you mentioned that you met Matt. How did you meet Matt? Where was that connection? Was it already a mutual friendship, or how did you get in touch with Matt at that point?
Yeah, I've known Matt for like 21 years. I actually grew up with Matt's younger brother.
He was selling Matt the good stuff. Matt was one of his best clients.
Yeah, we probably were. That's a good point. So me and Sam, Matt's younger brother, we were best friends growing up. And so I was always at Matt's house, and Matt's mom is like my mom, and I've always known him and his family. And so that's really how we got reconnected, is probably Matt's mom to an extent, but that's how we kind of got reconnected there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Very
I actually
cool.
just had the opportunity to talk to Matt's mom. She called me last week, I think, about the call. So it's a full-fledged family business over there too, right?
Yeah, it is. Miss Kim is amazing. That's Matt's mom. She is such a special person, such an amazing human being. She doesn't need to, like work with us, but she just truly wants to help, and she of course believes in us, and is willing to do whatever she can to help us out.
Love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it. And Alex, how old are you now, man?
I'm 29.
Woo!
Killer. He's a killer. Absolutely
is. Absolutely is.
JP, final thoughts before we get into the huge four and rapid fire round.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And shoot, I just want to keep learning more about my guy here and his story, man. But what I know you guys have done some amazing things just in the 4 or 5 years that you've been in business, and you're obviously continuing to grow, continue to evolve. What does the future look like for Teifke Real Estate, TR3 Capital, all those different things? What does it look like for you guys, and where's the next goal?
Yeah. So right now, what we're really trying to focus on is building our investor base, so people who will buy deals with us. For the longest time, we never really had a focus on that, and we I guess to an extent didn't really expect nor have the desire to have a bunch of investors with us for whatever reason. The Dream Huge podcast, we were dreaming pretty small back then, in my opinion, and didn't fully understand it. We weren't thinking big enough. We weren't thinking outside the box enough. And we thought we were at the time, but we definitely were not. And so, had we been focused on this over the last 5 years, we'd have a much better system and process and database and everything in place. But we kind of had to start from scratch to an extent of actually finding, qualified investors who want to invest in the opportunities like I just mentioned and like we presented last night. So I would love to say that, a year from now, we have at least 500 people who have invested with us in these deals. Like the last one we just did, we had about 43 people invest with us. It'll be probably something similar here, 43 to 50 on this new one, Fund 2. So a year from now, I'd love to have at least 500 people who have done this with us. And our goal with it, though, is to continue to grow that and build on that, but to just continue to buy bigger and better assets. Like it's kind of what we've been doing. Traditionally, we just bought single family houses, 2 to 4 units, small commercial, smaller, like we own like a 14 unit mobile home park here in Austin, but smaller stuff like that. But now, with building the investor database, it really opens up the opportunity to go out and buy some of these bigger deals that we, never really thought was possible, because we were kind of relying upon our own capital that we had at the time. So we just bought a 109 slot. We're about to buy a 141 slot and continue to add slots to both of those parks. But hopefully, we've closed on like 150 plus unit multifamily deal in the next year as well.
Your investors are going to appreciate that as well as you guys are, because the more, like you said, the more investors you bring in, the better assets you can buy, the better everyone does. And that's what's great about using real estate investing as a team sport. So how do you go about, I know, gathering investors, one, and then two, keeping them interested?
Sure. So things like this, right? We have our own podcast and we do, some stuff on social media. We put on like free live webinars where we teach people how to invest in real estate. We have paid events that people can go to. Like we have on June 4th through June 6th, we have a boot camp that we're running for those 3 days. It's called One Deal Away Boot Camp. And it's cheap. I mean, it's like 75 or $150 depending on which ticket you want. But for those 3 days, I'll teach people how to identify deals in their market, learn their market conditions, how to build a team in their local market. Day 2, we're analyzing deals, run them through all the formulas, simplify commercial real estate, investing, analysis and underwriting for them to where they can do it with a pen and paper versus a, 400 tab spreadsheet. And then day 3, we do live negotiations with brokers, and I help them send a letter of intent. And so, things like that also help find people who want to passively invest with us as well as do their own deals, and groups, right? Like the Cardone Club and things like that. So just the network, right? Going out, meeting people, offering solutions to people. And then,
Yeah, and you're offering the weekly sales call or the weekly investors call, which I love. And then are you also doing like a weekly email to keep everybody in the loop?
daily
email.
Ooh, 10x it, baby.
Yeah, just talking to people, right? So like all those different things have different email campaigns and different touch points. And we have people who call you and we want to talk to you and do stuff with you. So, all those different ways of finding people and staying in touch with them. But, on the investor side specifically, like Tier 3 Capital does the monthly calls, and we talk to, our investor database as much as we can. Miss Kim, right? Miss Kim's out there, talking to you.
Yeah. And it all boils down to, and we say it all the time too, relationships. It all boils down to relationships, knowing the right people that want to invest with and invest in you. So that's it's massive. Relationships make the business world go around, man.
Yep. And Pete, I wish I had a better answer for you there. I mean, I would say that we haven't completely cracked the code like a Grant Cardone, for example, or, Blackstone or anybody like that. But, that's kind of the trajectory that we're on right now, and it has been working for us. And so it'll just continue to get bigger and better over time.
Sure. No, you are cracking the code. You're doing it. You're copying exactly what Grant does because what he does works. There's no secrets out there. Everything has been laid out. The blueprint is laid out. It's just who's going to do it and follow it, and then who's going to do it even better. So I give kudos to you. Yeah, I know that's on our radar as well. We've dabbled in that, but that's definitely on our radar for something for us to go further into. But you're right. That's the only way to do it and to go big is with the help from others.
What are y'all's goals? Are y'all trying to do the same thing?
I think the biggest thing for us right now too is learning to, exactly like you're saying, invest more with other people and invest more, passively with other folks and bringing more investors in, because it's similar to what you were saying is a lot of it's just been, hey, our own capital, pulling down small 2-4 units. Every once in a while we'll pick up a a commercial deal that's over that. So right on that same trajectory, just a couple years back from it sounds like where you guys are started. So
yeah, what is y'all's ultimate goal with real estate investing? Like, I don't know, 50 years from now.
So I don't have a set goal, but financial freedom is the ultimate goal. It's just how much freedom and how soon is that freedom coming? Okay, right? We're going to build, and I joke about retiring, but an entrepreneur or real estate investor never retires. We only build until the day we die. So that's kind of my goal.
Yeah.
How about you, JP?
I'm right there with you, and I'm still fairly new to the industry in that aspect, but I'm building it to a point where I have financial freedom and I can spend time with my family, give back to my mother who gave everything to me when I was growing up, and being able to truly live free from finances, time, and everything of those sorts, and really building out the systems to allow me to step away, because right now it's 16, 17-hour days at times. So that's definitely the ultimate goal, and building to get there right now. And yeah, man, I mean, same thing as really all of us, is trying to get to that financial freedom number, and be able to say, hey, if we wanted to, we could hang it up. But like Pete said, I don't know if that day will ever come.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I think, we've always just been so in love with buying real estate, even with the brokerages and wholesaling and other things that we do to make money. We took always every single dollar and just bought as much real estate as we could. And, real estate has never failed me. I mean, real estate has been the best investment that I've ever made, and it provides really good returns. It's a ton of fun, for guys like us. I mean, it's fun structuring these deals and doing deals. But, I would say that y'all probably can do it, right? And I know that y'all want to do it, but and like I just mentioned, we're by no means like anywhere near where we want to be or desire to take this. I feel like we're just at the starting line, and we haven't cracked the code yet. I feel like we're cracking it open a little bit to like look inside, but we haven't fully, opened it, wide up yet. I will tell you this, that the dreaming huge and thinking bigger for us has really changed the game, and getting off of the we won't even buy a single family house anymore, at least here in Austin right now, and especially this market and with debt. If we were in 2020 again, where the prices were increasing 40% year over year, it might be different, but right now it's a very hard time to make any of those investments make sense. And basically, like 12 months ago, pulled the plug and, drew a hard line and said, we're not buying any more of those deals. And it took, quite a while and a lot of pain, a lot of, shifting around to get everybody and all the personalities and everything on board to think a lot bigger and do a lot bigger deals. And the moment that I feel like everybody did come on board to that vision and really start thinking bigger and approaching it in a bigger way, a lot of bigger things started to happen. And, in the last, it's May right now. So like in the last 5 months, the deal we have under contract, the deal we just bought, and a strip center we bought earlier this year, those 3 deals alone took the same amount of effort as every single deal in the last 5 years, and will do better than all the deals we did the previous 5 years in, 5 short months. And so thinking bigger, dreaming huge, and really pushing towards that, and understanding that it is possible. You just gotta do it. And it's going to be, painful too, especially with partners and everything else. There's a lot of personalities and a lot of things moving in different directions at all times. And so just getting the entire ship to move towards that bigger vision, I think, is really key.
Amazing. Yeah. Think about it, JP. Trade 300 deals for 3, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're still going to have lots of moving parts with 3, but you're not going to have as many moving parts as with 300. Right?
No, but I will tell you what you'll have many more of is, y'all can't see me, you'll have a lot more money with those 3, at least in our case. We make more money on those 3, and we will over the time period than we do and have over the previous, 100.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful, beautiful,
Amen.
Beautiful thing right there, man.
That's why we have this podcast. We want people smarter than us, teaching everyone else who listens and watches this. Just teaching, man. We're just here to learn. Love it, Alex. All right. Are you ready? Ooh, yeah. Are you ready for the huge 4, baby? Ooh.
4 ready. Turn it up to 11.
Let's go, baby. Woo. What's the one thing you wish you would have known when you started your career, Alex?
I wish I would have known what I just said. I wish I would have known that that I should have started thinking. I wish I would have known that what I was thinking at the time was so small-minded and was only going to hold me back.
Love it. Alex, what was your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
Biggest failure. I don't know. I don't really view things as failures. So I can't really think of one thing that has been a failure, but I'm going to relate it back to what I just said. I think the biggest failure was not thinking big enough soon enough. And what I learned from it is that, I need to constantly be thinking bigger and pushing the team and adjusting things around, thinking bigger versus thinking small, chasing small things like, oh, let's go make $100 over here. Let's buy this small deal over here. And, avoid distractions and focus. I used to think that it was actually detrimental to focus. I used to think that I was and we were better because we could do multiple things at once. But what I was missing at the time is that I was delusional. We're delusional, and focus is better, and thinking bigger is better, and not trying to do all these different things is helpful, and it's actually detrimental to our business.
Thinking bigger sooner. I love it. That's gonna be a quote from the pod.
Yeah, and more focused on one thing. Excellent. What are the best resources that have helped you along the way?
Honestly, Grant, I've probably watched every single YouTube video. I've read all of his books. Used to watch all of his lives when he used to put them on. But Grant has been a huge inspiration and for me personally. And I've always loved and respected Grant. And I think Grant's the best in the world at what he does.
Well, plus, you guys are buddies, right?
I wouldn't go as far as say that, but sure.
But you guys have done some content together and stuff.
We were on Grant's TV show, The Real Estate King. It's actually coming out June 12th this year.
Awesome! Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. All right, last one of the huge four, and you just touched on that. His books were definitely one of the ones that inspired. But what are the two books that have inspired your success the most?
Two books. I would not 10x rule. I would say actually Sell or Be Sold by Grant is my favorite book that he wrote. That really did teach me a lot about sales and still use and think about everything in that book to this day. And then another book, one I listened to recently, is What It Takes by the co-founder of Blackstone. And I really, that's just a recent book. It's fresh in my mind, but it's one of the better books that I've listened to recently. And along the lines of thinking bigger and doing bigger things, learning how Blackstone started from nothing really to building it to what it is today was really inspiring. And, informative about all the decisions that they made and how they structured it.
Love it. Love it. Those are two new ones, I believe, actually, that we've heard on the pod. Mm-hmm. And funny enough, I got a funny story about Sell or Be Sold real quick. Before I was in real estate, I worked at a debt collection agency. I used to collect debt on the phones, and then I went into management. But we were in Cardone University at the debt collection agency, and Sell or Be Sold was a book that our manager made us read. So that was one of the first books that really kind of shifted the mindset a little bit. So I resonate with that book a ton.
Yeah. Same with Cardone U. Me and my different partner back in the day got Cardone University, and there's a lot of haters out there and a lot of people that don't like Grant, but I've never experienced nothing but positive things from everything he puts out.
Alex, what were some of your main takeaways from Sell or Be Sold and Cardone U?
Well, a few things, but first and foremost, and number one is that you must first be sold on yourself before you can sell anybody on anything else. And if you could accomplish that one little thing, at least for me, that's what it was. If you can accomplish that one little thing, you can go out there and sell anything, really, because you have the confidence and, you sharpen your skills by all the other stuff in that book in Cardone U. But the other thing too is the follow-up, constant follow-up, creative follow-up. It's not the same thing every single time, but being sold, number one, on yourself, your product, or your service. And number two is, the follow-up there, because as we all know in sales and in real estate, it's never the first phone call or anything that gets the deal done. It's the, 8th to the 12th.
Absolutely. Woo!
Woo! Never stop following up, ever. Never give up. All right, on to the rapid fire round. First thing off the top of your head, Alex, you ready?
Born ready.
All right, I know you're busy, guys, so we don't keep too long. Real quick, what is your spirit animal?
Oh, I never thought about that one before. I know it's rapid fire. Spirit animal. Some kind of warrior.
Okay.
You know, you pick your animal warrior.
Yeah.
Tiger, lion, something. I don't know.
All right. We'll give you a tiger lion combo on that answer.
Liger.
Yes. Liger. The liger.
All right, this is an easy one for you. What's your favorite movie, Alex?
American Gangster.
Ooh, new one.
Nice.
New one and a great one.
Is that the Denzel one? Is that Denzel?
Yep, that's
Okay.
Denzel. Frank Lucas.
Nice.
There we go.
Who is your celebrity crush? The world wants to know.
Celebrity crush. I honestly don't think I have one, but I'm not going to answer with my fiance sitting right here.
So yeah, don't get Mrs. Coffman upset.
That's right.
But to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if I have one.
Correct answer.
Yeah, that is.
Yes.
Let's not do this. All right. In the little spare time that you have, Alex, well, what are some things that you like to do?
You know, probably similar to you guys. I love building and doing what we do here. Outside of, you know, like strict work stuff, just hanging out with family, hanging out with my fiance, non-celebrity crush, and, you know, hanging out with our puppies and doing, you know, family stuff together.
I love it. Love it. Get out and golf at all?
No, I can golf, but I don't get out and golf.
Fair enough.
If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be? And why?
I'd probably say Jesus. If I could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, and man, imagine having dinner with God.
I love it.
I'd have a ton of questions.
Yep.
I love it. We've heard that one a lot. That's definitely a common theme. All right, here's a great one. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't sing karaoke. I'm a pretty boring, bland person, but I have sung karaoke before back when, you know, in the old days, and I don't really remember a whole lot, but I think I sung, I forget what the song's called. Y'all know who Blime is?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
April 22nd, 1992, I think is what the song's called.
Yep.
I think that might be one of the only karaoke songs I've ever sung before.
Got a little Sublime. Well, Brad Noel, whose son is now running the show. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can give us a little bit of it?
Yeah.
April 22nd, 1992. There was a riot in the streets. Tell me, where were you?
Yeah.
You were at home watching your TV while I was out in the streets participating in some anarchy or something like that.
There it is. Boom. We got 4 bars there.
There you go.
We'll take it, right, JP?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll take what we can get on the karaoke.
All right. What is something you fear, Alex?
Something I fear. Something I fear, I guess, is really just kind of, you know, lack of control. Honestly, you know, and many things is I like being in control of what's going on around me. I like being in control of, you know, what's going on. And so if anything, you know, probably that. Like I would hate to have lack of control in my life. Like I was full of fear, you know, back in the day when I didn't have control in my life. You know, my life was in shambles. And, you know, if I was working a job right now and I had financial uncertainty, I didn't know where I was headed, I didn't, you know, have anything in place, and at any minute I could, you know, lose this or lose that, it would drive me crazy. And so like that fear probably, you know, drives everything that we do today.
I love it. That's a great one. Last one of the rapid fire round, Alex. What is your greatest accomplishment?
My greatest accomplishment. I don't know, because I kind of don't view anything that I've accomplished as great yet, kind of on purpose. And so I really don't view anything that we've done as adequate to where we want to go, you know? So I'm going to say my greatest accomplishment was getting my fiance.
Good man. Good man. Amazing, man. This was an amazing episode, Alex, and it was an absolute pleasure getting to learn a little bit more about your story, learn a little bit more about you. And dude, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast and joining us today.
Thank you guys. Let's turn it up to 11 one last time. Come on.
One more time, man. Woo! Thank you, Alex Coffman. These are so much fun, man. And we get to learn about investing in real estate as well along the way. So at Real Alex Coffman on Instagram. Is that the best way to contact you, Alex?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for joining us today, Alex Coffman, with Teifke Real Estate and co-founder of Entrepreneur Community. Love what you're doing down there in Texas, man. Keep up the hard work. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, remember the rules. Work hard, never give up, and dream huge, baby. Let's see the guns, Alex. Dream huge, dream huge. You got us dreaming huge. You got us dreaming huge now.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Dream Huge podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. For more inspiring content, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Dream Huge Realty and on TikTok at Dream Huge Inc. Until next time.